All right, so we're going deep today.
Yeah, yeah.
You sent over some really interesting stuff
Yeah,
about this group, Charming Kitten APT 35.
right.
And it's not just like your your average hackers stealing credit cards. This is
No,
this is some serious
espionage.
espionage
Yeah,
with global consequences.
exactly.
So yeah, this is a deep dive into a hidden world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really is.
And what's interesting is they're not after like
Yeah.
our bank accounts or anything.
Right.
It's journalists,
Yeah.
academics, military personnel, anyone with valuable information.
It's all about the information.
So basically digital spies.
Yeah, exactly. Their objectives are
Yeah.
all about
Yeah.
furthering Iran's goals.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to really kind of
Yeah.
peel back the layers on this.
Okay.
Who is Charming Kitten? How do they operate? What kind of damage have they done?
Right.
And what does it all mean for us?
Yeah.
You know, like how do we protect ourselves?
Exactly. How do we stay safe?
So it's a complex operation.
It is complex.
Yeah.
It is.
So where do we even begin?
Well, I think a good place to start is with their emergence.
Okay.
You know, how they came to be.
So your sources say they kind of popped up in the early 2010s.
Right.
And it seemed like right away they were known for this.
They were known
Spear phishing and social engineering.
spear phishing.
Yeah.
And what's interesting
Yeah.
is they've always been focused on espionage.
Yeah, unlike some groups that,
Right.
they go for the quick buck.
Mm-hmm.
Charming Kitten has always just
Ah.
been gathering intel.
Yeah, and that's a hallmark
Yeah.
of nation-state actors.
Right, it's not about like ransomware or
No.
stealing money. It's about
It's deeper than that.
power and influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole different level of threat than
Yeah.
just, some kid in his basement.
It suggests a level of patience and resources that
Yeah.
you don't normally see.
Yeah, one of your sources,
Yeah.
this analyst John Doe, he says they're
Yeah, John Doe.
an Iranian state-sponsored cyber espionage group. That's pretty direct.
Yeah, he doesn't mince words.
No,
That's-
he's straight to the point.
Straight to the point, and that is the consensus. That's what the cybersecurity community
Yeah.
has concluded.
And when you look at the timeline, your sources have this whole timeline of their attacks going back to 2013.
Yeah.
It's clear that they're not going anywhere.
It really shows their persistence
Yeah, they are persistent.
and their adaptability.
Yeah, they're adaptable.
They're not a one-trick pony.
No, they're not a one-trick pony, that's for sure.
No.
So let's dig into those tricks a little bit.
Yeah, let's get into it.
The material really highlights how they manipulate
Mm-hmm.
human psychology
Right.
more than exploiting like
More than just the technical stuff.
just technical vulnerabilities.
Yeah. So they're not just hacking into systems.
Masters of deception.
Yeah, they are. They're masters of deception.
Yeah.
And they prey on human trust,
Yeah.
our inherent tendency to trust.
They create these fake online personas like journalists or recruiters
Right.
or even like make up connections.
Yeah, they might pretend
The
to
trust.
have a mutual friend or a colleague.
It's like old school spycraft,
It is. It's very much like that.
but in the digital world.
Yeah, they're using the same
Yeah.
principles of building rapport,
Right.
but they're doing it online.
And then their main weapon is spear phishing.
Right.
Which is not like
Not your typical spam.
But typical spam email.
No, it's very targeted.
Yeah. So what's the difference?
Well, spear phishing
Yeah.
it's meticulously researched.
Oh, wow.
They tailor it to the individual.
So they really do their homework.
They do. They might reference specific details
Wow.
about you or your work.
So it looks like it's from
Yeah, that looks very
a
legitimate.
friend or colleague.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then your sources talk about how patient they are.
Mhm.
They'll spend weeks or even months.
They'll take their time building that trust
Build that trust.
before they strike.
And that really suggests
That's right.
state-level backing
Yeah, it is scary.
because they're thinking long-term.
Yeah.
They're not in a hurry.
Yeah. One expert said once they strike,
Right.
it's often too late.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, that's a chilling thought.
It is chilling, and it highlights the importance of prevention.
Yeah. You got to
Make-
catch it early.
Got to catch it early.
Yeah.
There's an example in your sources of an email
Yeah.
where they were impersonating a journalist.
Right.
So what makes that so effective?
Well, they go into a lot of detail.
Oh, wow.
They might create a fake LinkedIn profile,
So they'll create a whole fake profile.
a whole fake profile
Oh, wow.
of a real journalist.
And then they'll email you.
And they'll email their target.
And mention something.
Yeah, they might reference a recent article
That you've written or...
that the target wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make it seem more believable.
So you think, oh, this is someone...
Yeah, you think it's a colleague.
I know.
Reaching out.
Yeah, and then you provided some stats on
Yeah.
just how effective phishing is in general.
It's frighteningly effective.
Yeah, people are still falling for it.
Despite all the warnings,
Yeah.
people still click on those links.
So these guys are...
It's because it targets the human element.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they are.
So now let's talk about some of their targets. Wow. This is where it gets really serious.
Yeah.
They've reportedly targeted the Trump and Biden campaigns.
Yeah, in 2020.
In 2020. I mean...
That's right.
That's huge.
It shows they're not afraid
Yeah.
to go after the big players.
And not just American targets.
No, they're global.
They're global.
They have a global reach.
Yeah. And then they've also hacked into the email accounts of nuclear scientists.
Yeah, that's some serious stuff.
I mean, that's not just your average...
That's high-stakes espionage.
Yeah.
Information.
That could have international...
Change the world.
Yeah, it could destabilize.
Yeah, and your sources talk about how adaptable they are and how quickly they learn.
Yeah, they're constantly evolving.
Yeah, which makes them very difficult to counter.
It does. It makes them a moving target.
Yeah, like a
They're not static.
constant cat and mouse game.
Exactly. They're always one step ahead.
Yeah, some of your sources had these really cool
Yeah, the visualization.
visualizations
Yeah.
showing how their attacks work.
It's fascinating to see.
It's complex.
It is complex.
Yeah, it's not just sending an email.
No, it's multi-stage.
Yeah.
They exploit vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And then they exfiltrate the data.
That's whole operation.
It's a whole operation.
Yeah, and there's the big question.
Mm-hmm.
Are they connected to the Iranian government?
And all your sources seem to point to...
They all seem to agree.
Yes.
They are state-backed.
Yeah, and possibly even working with the...
Possibly even the Revolutionary Guard.
The Revolutionary Guard.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
a big deal.
That's serious.
Yeah, I mean, they have access to a lot of resources.
Yeah, and there were some leaked documents
Right.
that seem to link them to
military operations?
military operations.
Yeah.
So it's not just about
It's not just random hacking.
gathering random intel.
No, it's strategic.
Yeah.
They have a purpose.
You quoted an analyst who said cyber warfare
Right.
is a way for countries to destabilize other countries.
Yeah, and information is the weapon.
Wow. So it's like a whole new kind of warfare.
It is. It's a new battleground.
Yeah.
The digital battleground.
And then the question becomes, what are we doing about it?
Right. What are the countermeasures?
Yeah, the U.S. has imposed sanctions.
Yeah.
But are sanctions effective
That's the
in the cyber world?
Yeah. Some argue that they are
Yeah.
because they limit resources,
Yeah.
but others say it's not enough.
And then you've got companies like Google and Microsoft who are tracking these guys.
They are. They're on the front lines.
Yeah, it's like a
They have the data and the tool.
constant digital battle.
Yeah, to identify and track.
Yeah, and your sources raise the question,
Right.
is it enough?
Is it enough?
Are we doing enough?
Are we keeping up?
Yeah. It's a big question.
It's a big question.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer.
You mentioned a cybersecurity conference
Right.
that specifically focused on Iranian cyber threats.
Yeah, it was a big one.
So this is a known problem.
It's a known problem and a
Yeah.
growing problem.
Yeah, and one expert said
Yeah.
cyber warfare is constantly evolving.
It's always changing.
Yeah.
So we have to adapt.
Yeah, so we can't just sit back and relax.
Yeah, we can't.
So even though we're talking about a state-sponsored group,
Yeah.
the tactics they use,
Yeah.
especially social engineering,
Social engineering
can affect anyone.
affects everyone.
So let's talk about how to protect ourselves.
Okay, let's get practical.
Yeah, let's get practical.
Yeah.
First and foremost, multi-factor authentication.
Absolutely.
So explain that to our listeners.
So multi-factor authentication.
Yeah,
It's basically adding an extra layer.
like it's like a password.
Yeah, like a second password.
Okay.
So even if someone gets your password,
Yeah.
they still need that second factor
Okay.
get in. So it's much harder to hack.
So never click on suspicious links.
Right?
But with spear phishing, how do we know?
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
So always hover your mouse over the link
Okay.
before you click it.
Okay.
And look at the actual address.
Oh, yeah.
If it looks weird or doesn't
Yeah.
match the sender, don't
Yeah.
click it.
Don't click it.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then verify identities
Right.
before sharing any information.
Because remember,
Yeah.
they create fake personas.
So if someone's asking for information.
Yeah. Be suspicious.
Yeah.
If you didn't initiate the contact,
Okay.
be wary.
So be wary.
Yeah.
Right. And then keep your software up to date.
Oh, yeah. This is crucial.
Yeah.
Those updates,
Yeah.
they include security patches.
So it's not just about getting the new features?
No, it's about protecting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, just be aware of social engineering tactics
Ugh.
if you know how they operate.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
If you know their tricks,
Yeah.
you're less likely to fall for them.
Yeah, you quoted an expert who said awareness is the best defense.
It really is.
So we have to be proactive.
We do. We can't be passive.
Yeah.
We have to take charge.
So big picture, what does this all mean?
Well,
Charming Kitten is a major player in
Yeah.
this cyber conflict.
yeah.
And it shows how countries
Yeah, how they can use
using digital
tools for espionage.
for espionage and influence. It's kind of scary.
It is a bit scary.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
And they're so good at social engineering
They are.
that we really have to be careful.
We have to be vigilant.
Yeah.
We can't be complacent.
And even though this might seem like a faraway problem,
Yeah.
it affects all of us.
It does.
Their actions can have a huge impact on the world.
On geopolitics.
Yeah.
On national security.
So we need to understand them.
We do.
Yeah.
We need to know what we're up against.
So the big question you leave us with is, are we prepared
Are we prepared?
for this new world of digital threats?
Yeah, that's the question.
It's a big question.
It is a big question.
And it's something we all need to think about.
Yeah. Everyone needs to think about it.
Yeah.
It's not just the government's problem.
Yeah. It's all of our responsibility.
It's everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
To be informed.
Yeah.
To be vigilant.
Yeah.
To be proactive.
That's a great point to end on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. This was a fascinating discussion.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, I learned a lot.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. Thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. That's it for today's deep dive.
See you next time.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.